the Western world is in danger.
This is Javier Milei, the new president of Argentina, and he's about to change everything. Argentina is known for juicy meat, sexual tango, and sensational football, but also known to be one of the worst economies in the world. 2023 ended with a dramatic 211% inflation, and just in the last 5 decades, Argentina has suffered from 5 major depressions, creating a narrative of instability, leaving both citizens and investors on edge. The economic roller coaster is such a disaster that the Nobel Prize-winning economist Simon Kuznets once said that there were 4 types of economies: the developed, the underdeveloped, Japan, and Argentina. The recent pandemic and the current conflict in Ukraine are the main reasons for the current disaster, but they don't explain the long history of failures. The South American country took a historical decision, electing the first libertarian in the history of the world, and he wanted to change everything once and for all. So, how did we get here? At the beginning of the last century, Argentina was one of the most productive countries globally, surpassing even economic powerhouses like Canada, Australia, and even rivaling the United States.
Yeah, bitch!
This prosperity was driven mainly by its strong agricultural industry, representing on average 24% of the national GDP, with an economy heavily reliant on the export of beef, wheat, and corn. The agricultural sector not only fueled the nation's wealth, but also made Argentina a formidable player in the global economic arena. The wealth attracted foreign investment, contributing to the growth cycle, but also drew migrants seeking opportunities in the nation's fertile lands, mainly from Italy and Spain, contributing to influence the culture. The influx of modern amenities and the exponential growth of the agricultural sector propelled Argentina's economy to compete on a global scale. As foreign investments flowed in, more migrants seeking economic opportunities flocked to the nation. However, this prosperity was not meant to continue after the country faced a significant setback during a pivotal moment in world history. The famous Roaring '20s were a thing even in Argentina, once called the Paris of South America for its stunning architecture and cosmopolitan ambiance. But everything was about to be turned into nothing more than just a memory. The Great Depression of the 30s started in the US, triggered a new era in Argentina's economic history, starting its infinite decay.
Fucking shit.
Taking advantage of the economic and political turmoil, General Jose Felix Uriburu took control of the country with a coup, overthrowing the democratically elected government. The new leader immediately took action, shifting the country's focus from global cooperation to self-sufficiency, a move aimed at satisfying its domestic market, disrupting foreign income streams, estimated at around $2.5 billion, equivalent to approximately 25% of Argentina's total GDP at the time, and leading to an obvious period of economic stagnation. This marked an end to the collaborative international approach, leading to a choice that would shape Argentina's economic trajectory in the post-World War II era. Once the global conflict ended, Argentina had to decide how to recover from the economic loss. The country faced a pivotal choice: embrace developmentism, a self-sufficient economic approach, or actively engage in global trade and come back to their old system. Obviously, Argentina opted for the developmentism, or desarrollismo, aimed to modernize the country's economy, reducing the dependence on foreign trade, implementing protective measures such as high import taxes to shield local industries.
Oh shit, here we go again.
While the decision aimed to boost domestic growth, it inadvertently led to economic challenges. The protectionist policies hindered global trade, limiting the diversification of the economy and contributing to the reoccurring cycles of economic instability that we know, with inflation, debt problems, and government interventions contributing to the turbulence, creating a cycle that the nation struggles to break even after more than 70 years. Government interventions, while aimed at stabilization, often contribute to a cycle of boom and bust that leaves the nation grappling with its economic future. The reliance on debt to fuel economic growth becomes a double-edged sword, leading to short-term prosperity but long-term challenges. As debt grows, inflation increases, causing economic problems. Argentina's challenges in sustaining economic development extend beyond a simple ebb and flow. Despite periods of being one of the fastest growing major economies, the country faces difficulties maintaining growth for more than a decade, struggling to strike a balance between growth and stability. This paradoxical situation of rapid growth followed by a sudden downturn raises concerns about the fundamental issues within the economic structure itself. This infamous cycle is the reason why Argentina now has elected this man, whose only goal is to disrupt everything. Argentina, as of 2023, finds itself grappling with an inflation on the national currency, the peso, of more than 210%. This situation is the inevitable result of the government reactions, such as limitations on currency transfers, low trade intensity influenced by historical protectionism, and special rules for certain industries, further complicating the economic landscape. At the end of 2023, the people of Argentina elected their new president, Javier Milei.
Hoy empezamos a dar vuelta a la página de nuestra historia y volvemos a retomar el camino que nunca deberíamos haber perdido. Hoy se termina la idea de que el Estado es un botín a repartirse entre los políticos y sus amigos.
The elected president of Argentina is putting the country under a seismic shift with his chainsaw plan as a center pillar of his economic vision. New to politics, Milei's journey began with the founding of his party, Freedom Advances, in 2021, making his detachment to the political elite and its straightforward communication his strongest assets, boosting his meteoric rise. Milei has expressed strong opinions on China, threatened to freeze all the relations due to its Communist Party, even if the Asian country is the first importer of Argentina agriculture goods.
Just realized.
What?
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
This stance gave him the nickname the Trump of Argentina, but the political approach of the two leaders are often very different. Milei's economic policies diverge significantly from Trump's, emphasizing open borders and the removal of tariffs, but mostly the willingness to close the central bank. The Argentinian president presented what he called his chainsaw plan in June 2022.
Bueno, lo primero que tenemos que entender es que el Estado no es la solución. El Estado es el problema.
It's his blueprint for the wholesale reform of the state to slash public spending, scrap half the government's ministries, sell state-owned companies, and eliminate the central bank. In a television interview in March, Milei explained that his chainsaw plan was all about tightening the reins on the spending of corrupt politicians. His radical ideas for economic revival include eliminating the majority of the ministry, closing the central bank, and adopting the US dollar as Argentina's currency. Currently in Argentina, most of the people hold American dollars to fight inflation with a more stable currency, holding even more dollars in cash than the average American. This situation has created a sort of parallel economy, leading Milei change of national currency. Adopting another currency is an extreme financial move, already used in some countries put in place to stop the inflation. If one side, this move will save the peso endless loss of power, it's also notable that losing the control over the central bank, repaying debt, could be harder, potentially leading to a default like in 2001. As poverty rates surpass the 40%, Milei's inauguration marks the beginning of a new era. Supporters wielding fake chainsaws as symbols of his economic plan gathered at Congress as Milei pledged to transform Argentine politics. However, skepticism remains about the feasibility of Milei's ambitious plans, including significant cuts in public spending amid a recession. Economists are unsure how these measures will impact the private sector, emphasizing the uncertainty surrounding Milei's transformative agenda. As of now, only one thing is certain. If Milei will use the chainsaw, we will soon know if he will bring Argentina to its glory or destroy its economy once for all. By any means, it won't be forgotten.
¡Viva la libertad, carajo! ¡Viva la libertad, carajo! Muchas gracias.